So we're going to learn a little bit about 3D cutting techniques. So there's 10 different ones that we're going to learn about. So the first one, super simple, is when you take a piece of paper, you fold it in half, and you cut just on the open edge. So there's a difference between just cutting off some pieces of the edges and cutting it so that it creates a new shape and it's symmetrical. And the difference between this and our second thing, which is cut out, or fold and cut out, is that, so this you were cutting on the open edge, and it even says it right there. The next one you're going to do is to cut out on the folded edge. So if you want to cut out various shapes, they're still going to be symmetrical at the end, but you're cutting out on that fold. This is really great for if you want to make something three-dimensional and pop out. So those are the differences between those two. This is also a way to do negative and positive space. So yeah, so now we had number one, which is cut on the open edge. This cut on the folded edge. The next one is the loop. The simple, super simple loop. You take this piece of paper. If I cut a strip and I pinch it at the end and I actually glue just right there, a few dots of glue, fold it and hold, count to about 15 while pressing and holding. It's going to create a nice little loop that you can then glue on. You can actually stack a bunch of these on top of each other so that they create a lot of nice three-dimensional texture. Okay, the next one is the curl. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, and you can do these super tight or super skinny. And you're going to take a pencil, and you're just going to roll it up. You can either keep it even, or you can roll it so it's not even like that. Either one is totally fine, but it creates a nice curly Q, and you can actually even stretch it out a little bit so that it curls down like that, and it actually looks like a bunch of hair. So you can glue it on. Okay, so our next one is fringe. Fringe is super fun. So, fringe is you take a piece of paper, you can either cut straight lines, you can cut zigzag lines, it really doesn't matter, but I'm just going to cut straight lines to make it easier. And you're going to cut it just halfway up a piece of paper, just part of the way up, and then that becomes fringe. Fringe is also really cool to use your finger and curl up. If one curls up, maybe the other one's going to curl backwards, or maybe they're all going to curl in the same direction. Or one curls, one doesn't curl. But paper has a memory, and it remembers how you fold it. So it'll pretty much stay in the direction that you fold it. Okay, so that's the basics on fringe. The next one that we're going to focus on is roll. The roll is different than the curl, because the curl you're wrapping it around something, and the roll, you're literally just taking like a piece of paper and going to the edge of like a desk or a hard surface, and you're taking it and you're just kind of rubbing it around that whole edge. And I'm actually wrapping it around. I have my hand on the bottom, so now it's got a roll. Look at that. And if I wanted it to roll all the way, I'd come all the way to the edge, roll all the way back down, and then it'll curl right up. Just like that. Super simple, super easy. Moving on. Whoops. Alright, so bend and crease. Again, simple stuff you guys know all about bending and creasing. It's literally just folding paper. This is showing you a triangle, so you fold it 3 times, and it creates a triangular shape that you can then put glue on the bottom edge and glue down. Or if you fold it same way 4 times, you can make a cube shape. If I open this back up, And there's a cube shape, and I can just cut it off so that it looks the same way. And again, put glue on the bottom. You can make these different heights. Very good stuff to work with. The next one is pleat. Pleat is what everybody likes to do when they try to make fans. So you fold it in one direction and fold it in the other direction. And back in the first direction, and then the second direction. And then the first direction and the second direction. So when you open it back up, voila, it's just like a fan. And that's your pleat. The second to last one is a spiral. So I'm going to cut basically a circle by just cutting off my corners. And, you know, big chip, little chip out of a square becomes a circle. I had to cut some of that off. Okay, so a spiral. You go from the outside edge, and you just keep going around that edge until you get to the inside. And as you keep cutting, so you don't cross over, you're going to cut it off. But as you keep cutting, if you notice, part of it's coming off with the paper. So I can make it as tight or as wide as I want it to. I like making them pretty tight. And notice that I'm not moving my scissors ever, I'm moving my hand so that I can wrap around it. Okay, and so I can either hang this off the bottom of something, I can glue this little tab on, I can glue part of this on so it's hanging off that way. Either one, totally fine, but it's a lot of fun to use. You can even put like some of these objects together, where like circle is there and that's hanging off, so it looks like that from the side. Here, I'll flip this around. So it looks like that from the side. Totally okay. But yeah, do what makes you happy. Build things, use things together. And finally, our last one is scoring. This one you need to be careful with. It's if you cut out a shape and you want it to just be a little bit three-dimensional. So maybe if I cut out like the shape of a leaf. So maybe it's like this. Okay. Then I want it to kind of pop out. I'm going to open my scissors and I'm going to pull toward myself and keep my helper hand away. And then I'm just going to press down a little bit. And then maybe I want it to bend along this line. So I'm just scoring the edge of the paper, but I'm not going all the way through. So that now I can bend along those lines really easily, and it looks three-dimensional. See that? There we go. So that's our scoring. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about any of the techniques that you've seen, go ahead and ask, but they're pretty straightforward, and when you have a piece of paper in front of you, this cheat sheet, it's pretty easy. Questions? Let me know.